Welcome to Smart Brands Show, where every episode is a step closer to your success story. Join me as an industry expert as we explore career experiences, vulnerability, intimacy, and industry expert strategies. Get ready for a roller coaster of fun where learning meets laughter and inspiration sparks innovation. Don't forget to subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications. Let's embark on this success journey together.
This is Smart Brand Show, brought to you by Smart Brands Africa.
Hello there, you are welcome to another episode of Smart Brand Show, brought to you by Smart Brands Africa. I am Debbie Agbola, your host. And on this episode, we have another premium guest with us today. She is a speaker. She is also a communication coach. She coached you to know how to speak better, how to communicate better. She is Miss Asiwaju Dorcas. Hello, ma.
Hi, Debbie. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for honoring your invitation. We are glad to have you here today.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, ma. So this show is not that serious show like that. It's just like a show where you get to share your experience, and we get to know some things about you too, because some people, for them, they just know the brand Asiwaju Dorcas, but they don't know some things about you. If you ask them, if they even want to surprise you with something, they don't even know what to buy for you. But on this show, it's just like giving them expo. So we have 4 different segments on this show. The first one is Get Intimate, that they get to know some things about you. And the second one is about your experience, your journey so far. Then the third segment is you get to share your lessons from some words I will give to you. And the last one is rhyme section. You get to develop a quote. You are going to make a quote from some words that I will give to you. So are you ready?
Debbie is giving me the hot seat vibe.
Yes,
nonetheless,
this seat is not that hot though.
Okay, let's hope it's not going to be so hot. I'm ready. I'm good to go. Go ahead, please.
Okay, my first question to you is, are you an inside person or outside person? That is, are you an introvert or extrovert?
Okay, I'm an extrovert, 100%.
Hey, wow.
But my extrovert loves to stay indoors anyways.
You are the first extrovert we are having on this show. Everybody is just introvert. Wow. So are you team tea or coffee?
Tea, please.
Why are you picking tea?
Tea has always been a thing for my family right from childhood.
Wow.
I think we were trained with tea because that was what they could afford back then, or let me say that was what they could lay their hands on. So I always had tea in my lunchbox while I go to school during my primary school days. So it's tea. Till now, it's tea. Till tomorrow, it will be tea.
It's tea. Wow, awesome. So are you team pizza or burger?
I'm none of it, so amazingly.
Wow.
I know it's weird. I know this could be weird, but I've never tasted pizza. Never. It's not my thing.
Wow.
Neither have I tasted shawarma. It's not my thing. Neither have I tasted burger. No, please. Rice, please.
Team natural.
Fresh Hollandia yogurt,
so
please.
My next question to you is, do you like singing or dancing?
Okay. I think I love both, but then I do dancing better. Though when I do my house chores, or perhaps when I'm preparing for a speaking engagement, I sing. Sometimes I dance too. I'll say both.
Okay, wow. That's one of the most popular talents. You can sing and you can also dance. So the next question is, YouTube or Netflix?
Netflix, please.
Why?
Well, just like I said earlier, I'm an extrovert that loves to stay indoor. So when I'm not outside working, I'm not meeting with clients, I'm not honoring any speaking invitation, I'm inside, and definitely I have to chill. So it's Netflix and chill.
Wow. Team relax and chill. Okay, so my next question is, what's your favorite game?
Wow. Do I have a favorite game? Well, I do Scrabble a lot. So I think let me say Scrabble.
Wow, wow. Scrabble. I used to run away from that game. Okay,
Very
music or movie?
interesting. Movie, please. And if you want to give me music, it has to be gospel. So team movie.
Okay, so what kind of movie do you watch?
Am I allowed to say that I love K dramas?
Ah! Oni Sange! I know, am I allowed to say that? Wow.
Yeah, Abuchi. I'm allowed to know.
We are the same team. Wow.
Aww.
I also love K drama.
Ah, I love K dramas. I could do it. I could stay indoors for days. Once I'm
Wow.
working, I'm done with work, switch to my K dramas. I have
Hmm.
their site, their books, everything. I follow them back to back.
Wow.
Don't
Wow.
mind me.
Wow. So the last question in this segment is, describe yourself in 3 words.
Okay. In 3 words, the first would be smart, eloquent,
Hmm. Wow.
beautiful.
Wow. Smart, eloquent, beautiful. And the theory, I can see the three in you. You are smart, even in
Mm.
your dressing. One thing I love about you is your dressing. And
Um,
about eloquence in your speaking, it's very evident. It's obvious. I love it. And beautiful. It's
mm.
like it's it's obvious. So, and that is it for
Thank
the
you.
first section of, you're welcome. Section of this show. Then we are moving on to the second segment of this show. So, are you ready to sit on another hot seat?
Okay, let's roll, please. I'm game.
Okay, the first question is, what motivated you to start? What is the motivation behind the Talk General today, the Asiwaju brand we know today? Why did you start? How did you start?
Okay, I'm just going to give us a summary that would be quite sufficient because if I go into the details, I may not be able to tell all of the brand story at a go like this.
Yes.
So, what was my motivation? My motivation was that I actually wanted to see people get better, their passion and their desire to contribute to people. Because for me, I didn't stumble on public speaking, and I didn't even do it because there was money in it. As a matter of fact, when I started public speaking, I never knew that there was money in it. I
Hmm.
never knew that people could pay me to train them to speak. It was after a while before I
Hmm.
knew that if I asked these people to pay, they will actually pay. That was about after a year before I knew that I could monetize. So, what was
Hmm.
my motivation? Right from when I was serving in 2015, Port Harcourt, I was made the NCCF prayer coordinator. So, in the
Wow.
process of discharging my duties, I always assign people to tasks. I figured out that most corp members that I assign, you are taking prayer, Copper Precious, you are taking fellowship this evening, Copper Dorcas, you are taking prayer, you are taking the praise and worship. They will always come back to me. Dorcas, please now, no, they do this kind thing. Sorry, let me use pidgin. That's how they speak over there. He said, Dorcas, why you do me this kind thing now? I know Sabi stand like you now. You feel they talk to people. I know Sabi, my leg go they shake. So in the space of serving for 1 year, I realized that what was easy peasy for me was such an Herculean task for so many people. So when I
Hmm.
couldn't get job, immediately we finished serving in 2016, and I couldn't lay my fingers on a good job immediately back then, I started helping people from my church, my fellowship. After we left fellowship, we when we came back to Lagos, I joined the church back. Then there was a day, there was a gap. Somebody that was interpreting was not available. So I told my church pastor, I can interpret. And he said, youth, because it's a big church, they don't used to allow youth to come to the main church. If you can do it, why not? So I did it so well to the extent that some youth started meeting me. How did you do it? You're not even afraid. You're not even ashamed. You're not even shy. You're not nervous. You're not this, you're not that. So I saw that major challenge that I had experienced while I was serving was also dominant in my church. So I just wanted to see them get better. And I told my pastor, Pastor, please, can I train the youth? Even at that time, I had no training. I had no professional training. Okay, let me put it like that. I had no professional training. Big boy, I had books, I had this. So I started telling them, when you go there, just breathe in, breathe out. Like I used to do. Those are the things I used to do back then. Breathe in, breathe out. Tell yourself that I can do this. So I'll just motivate them. That's the word. I'll just motivate them. And they'll go, they'll do things and come back. So I started feeling this sense of fulfillment when somebody will come to me and say, I'm so glad. I'm so grateful you shared this with me. It helped me. Then I knew that this was where I was going. So that was what empowered me to now say, this thing I'm doing. It was even somebody that told me that this thing I'm doing is public speaking. I never knew. I just thought I thought it was motivation. So it was my pastor that now called me after a few Sundays of interpreting for him and told me that, Dorcas, have you considered this thing you are doing? Your mom told me you are looking for a job. I said, yes. This thing you are doing is public speaking. Oh. And he mentioned two names to me that very afternoon in his office. He said, I know Fela Durotoye. He's a public speaker. You should follow him. Go to Instagram, Facebook. I said, Facebook. That was in 2019, towards the tail end of 2019. And that was when I started my journey. So when I discovered that I could do it, I could reach more people. So I started the Get Up, Speak Up Academy, GUSU. It was where we ran training people for free for about 8-9 months. So what motivated me in one word is the passion to see people get better, to see people do what they think they could not, and see them smile because they actually wanted to get results. Thank you.
Wow. I love that. Like you saw problem, and you know that you have the solution to that problem, and you want to solve that problem. You were trying to fill in the gap of them feeling that doubt of not being able to speak. So I am inspired by what you just shared now too. And this is a big lesson too, that when we feel fulfilled when we are doing something, that is another thing, like another signal that that thing is like what God wants us to do. And from that too, we can even monetize it. So I'm inspired by your story, ma. So my next question is, okay,
Thank you.
my next question is, what's your favorite part of being a speaker?
Well, this question is in alignment with the first question. So I'll just pick up from where I stopped answering the first question. My favorite part of being a public speaker is the fulfillment I get, the returns. And when I say returns, I don't just mean money. The returns I get when people send me testimonial. There are days that I want to give up, especially when we have not gotten to this stage that we are today. When we wanted to give up the journey, and I'll just say a message. Good evening, ma'am. I was at your training last week. I was at the place where you came to speak, and everything you said was as though you were speaking to me. This and many more testimonials gave me joy, gave me desire to keep pulling up. So when you ask me for the favorite part of being a speaker, I would say it's the part where I get fulfillment. When I see people who are better, I see people send testimonials, I see people who came in TalkGenerals Global Training School. When you come to enroll, we ask you for the challenges that you have with speaking and communication. Once you share the challenges with us, this is what is going to be the yardstick. And at the tail end, we usually roll out Google Forms where people will respond. How has it been? Has it really been? So we've had numerous testimonies where somebody will say, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I did not have this kind of confidence. You know, at a point, it got to a stage where I started wondering, what was I even telling them? I went through my curriculum, I went through the scheme of work, and I realized that this is joy for me. You know, sometimes I don't take food until evening. I'm just speaking, training, coaching, and these people will come back. I just get fulfilled. So for me, the favorite part of being a speaker is the fulfillment that I get from it, the acknowledgement, the joy, the happiness that comes with knowing that this person is not just better, but this person is advancing in his or her career because of what we did together.
Wow, I love that. Like the most common thing among the guests we've had on this show is that all of you are selfless. Like you are always happy when you see other people improve, and you're always fulfilled when you see that these people, okay, my protege, they are getting fulfilled too. So that is one common thing about our guests here. So I love that. My next question to you is, I think everything here is linked together too. So I would just want to ask it for you to just expand more about it. So do you doubt yourself sometimes? Like, do you get scared sometimes? Do you doubt yourself sometimes? And if yes, how do you always overcome it?
This question is just so personal. I am going to share all of it without holding back. I doubt myself so many times, especially because I didn't get a lot of validation from people when I started my journey. So I doubted myself. When people say, ah, you are a short lady. You know, at some point in my life, when I started this journey, I had people who told me, ah, Kekere. Apologies for people that do not understand Yoruba. People call me different names: Kekere, Randu, Janku, Orebe. I've gone to a speaking engagement when I started my career, and somebody made a nasty comment and said, ah, she speaker wa ni speaker bintin yẹn, speaker Kekere yẹn, girl Kekere yẹn. So there are times that I have doubted myself because of what I've had people say and because of how the journey has been. So there are a lot of times that I have doubted myself because of the fact that I did my journey alone. When I started, I had no validation. Even up until now, there are things that I want to do that I'm still doubting myself. Can you do this? Will you be able to pull through? Now, you now said, what are the things I did if I've actually doubted myself before? One of the things I did was that I pushed myself. I learned to clap for myself. That's the word. And what do I mean? I learned to clap for myself. Each time when the doubts come, I go back to the success I have had. So let's say there's a new project I want to do now. Okay, let me give you a practical example. Our trainings have always been online. Then about a year ago, no, in 2022, I was on my bed and something told me, why not start running a physical training? You have had about 10, 12 people request for physical training. Why don't you start training physically? It was as if there was a spirit that was speaking to me that day, because I rebuked that spirit. Debbie, are you with me?
Yes, yes.
So after about a month, this spirit came again and told me, why don't you start doing physical training? If you don't want to start, I told my, apart from the fact that there will be a lot of finance that will be needed for it, can I do it? Can I host physical event? What will people say? People say she's no longer making sale online. That's why she wants to deviate to physical. Who will give me platform? Where will I use? Will I not go and get this thing? Will I not do this? Will I not do all of that? I doubted myself. It took a day for me to shout in my head that I had to speak to myself. I'm hearing right. This is it for me. And at some point again, during that period, we got several messages from people saying, yeah, you don't want physical trainings. We want to come and train. You need to do so. I sat down. So I first of all looked back. I told myself, this is 2022. If you can train people online from 2019 till 2022, then you can do it on offline. It's almost the same thing. So 1, 2, yes. If you can get these results in 3 weeks training, 2 weeks training, that are online, that people did not see you, how much more when they see you? So one thing, I clapped for myself. I told myself, girl, you are doing well, you can do this. Then 2, I started talking to my mentor. You cannot do it alone. You cannot do it alone. Even after I wrote the vision, I wrote that we were going to do it maybe once in a year, just one physical training in a year, I realized that I still develop cold feet. The first physical training that TalkGenerals hosted at Ikeja in Lagos here, it happened August 27, 2022. But do you know when I started talking about the event online? I dragged my feet till July 1st, 2022. So I used only 1 month to publicize, to advertise. And I didn't have enough for me back then. I was running another program. I couldn't run ads and all of that. So I just leveraged on collaboration, influencer marketing, and the rest of it. But one thing that helped me was that I had a mentor who understood my vision. So when I shared with him, he told me that, Dorcas, if this is what you have been seeing, and like you said, sometimes when I sleep, I will see things. Sometimes I will sleep. I will see people sitting down and listening. I will tell myself that this is a physical stage. Then it means that this thing was old. So I spoke to him one day and he told me that this actually means that this is the time. So it was the one that pushed me. July 30, 2022, he sent me a message and said, tomorrow is 1st of July. Okay, June 30th, 2022. He said, tomorrow is the 1st of July. And from what we deliberated on, you're supposed to host that event August 27. If you don't start publicity July 1st, how long? You will not have less than 1 month. So it means that you have about 1 month plus to talk about the event. Even when I posted, Miss Debbie, I created the content. Immediately I clicked on post. Did you know what I did? I put off my data and switched off my phone. Because I was still doubting myself and I didn't know what people would say. Only for me to come back online. If it was the one that even told me, Dorcas, go back to your profile. Go and see what people are saying. Guess what happened? I saw 10 shares. People had shared it. People were in the comments. Wow. We had about 156 reactions. People were saying two comments stood out from me. And I can remember one of those comments from if I mention the name of the person, you know her, Mercy Okeke, Madam Landlady.
Madam Landlady.
And she said something in that comment section. I had it screenshotted in my phone. She said, this is long overdue, Auntie Me. She said, Auntie Me, this is long overdue. Then immediately I read that comment, I knew that this was time. There was another person, Madam Olu, from Texas, and she said, I thought you have been running offline training. So this is going to be your first hosted offline training. I said, yes. So things that work is when you doubt yourself, try as much as possible to go back to the books. Have you had successes? Have you recorded success on that line? Then if you have, then it means you can go higher. You will do better. 2, don't just do it alone. Get an accountability partner, a mentor, a coach, and not just anybody, not just a mentor, the one that believes in you, the one that sees the vision, the one that sees what you see. Today, when we started the offline program, we only used to do it once in a year. Now we have started 2 times in a year. Last year we did it in June, we did it in November. This year we are going to do it again. So we started running. It was one that told me, why are you doing this thing once in a year? People are asking you, when is the next? Do you know that it's still far away now? And people started saying, Jean, when is the next? Lagos State speaking? Because there is a way we used to coin that word. I said, don't worry, we are planning it. So please have an accountability partner, a mentor, a coach that sees what you see. In fact, that sees far ahead than you see. And for some of us, our accountability could be our friend, could be our parents, could be our spouse, could just be a random person, somebody that just clap for you, and somebody that constructively criticize you, somebody that gives you constructive criticism and will not pull you down. So these are the kind of things that I did. So each time doubts came, I go back to my books. I speak to my mentors. Then finally, I prayed about it. God, I'm doubting. Can I do this? Is this a yes for me? Though I actually take God from the beginning, but at some point when my feet begins to shake, I go back to Him. So those are my tips.
Wow. Wow, like there are so much lessons to learn from this question. The first one is always have like a mentor, or let me say father or mother figure that can support you, the one who sees your vision and the one who is ready to support. Because some mentors, they are not actually mentors, they are tormentor, because once you share that vision with them, they will always try to pull you down
They will
and have
hijack
an
it.
accountability.
They will hijack it, Debbie. That's the word. I had
Yes, yes,
a bitter
they
experience
are always
sometimes ago
envious of your
when I
progress.
started my journey. Yes, when I started my journey,
Hmm.
2019, I shared something with a coach online back then,
Hmm.
and only for me to see the following week exactly everything I said, they started doing it. So
Ah.
that's why they used to say again
Wow.
that when you have a vision, don't wait too long because you don't know who God has dropped it in their hearts. So in my own
Yes.
case, this person now told me later that immediately I was sharing with her, it was as if God was speaking through me because she already had the vision.
Hmm.
So that's it.
Wow. So, and while doubting ourselves, I think doubting is part of you knowing that that vision is achievable. You won't know what is achievable unless you try out. So this is another lesson for us that always that myself. I used to doubt. Oh, I doubt myself a lot. I hosted my physical event to last year before I could even start publicity too. Prayer. I would just wake up in the midnight and I would just sigh like. I'll now tell myself, Deb, you are not in a debt, you are not owing anybody. But I was just so scared. But at the end of everything, I hosted the hangout and I realized that it is achievable. So if we don't implement or take action, we will not know if that thing is achievable or not. So I'm inspired by what you just shared with us now. So moving on to my next question. Are you ready?
I am, Debbie, don't worry.
Okay, ma'am. So what quality should a good speaker possess? Like a good public speaker or any good speaker, what quality should they possess?
The very first one I would say is authenticity.
Hmm.
No matter how good you are, no matter how eloquent you are, if you are not authentic, you will not go far.
Hmm.
You cannot go far being a copycat. You cannot go far being a copycat. I tell my student at TalkGenerals Global Training School, don't sound like Asiwaju Dorcas. Someone said, Ma, I like how you
Hmm.
speak. There is a unique voice in you. There is a distinct voice in you. Don't try to sound like me. You have your own identity. You have your own voice. So one of the things I would say is
Hmm.
authenticity. Be authentic. Be real. Be you. Don't try to form. While public speaking rests on the fact that words can be trusted and people will be true, you should also try not to overpackage. So let's assume that
Hmm.
I come here and I started speaking for them. Hi, Debbie. My name is Lucas. Hey, guys, can you hear me today? My name is Lucas, and today I'm going to talk you through confidence. You just try to be you. Speak as you speak. Am I saying that you should not upgrade? No, I'm not saying don't upgrade. Upgrade yourself. Master diction. Master
Hmm.
phonetics. Do it, but don't form. Don't try to sound like who you are not. Online, offline, be your real self. Somebody told me, you are too real. I went to speak, and she walked up to me and she said, out of all today's speakers, you are too real. I could see through you while you were speaking. So you use your authenticity to find your own tribe. From the
Yes,
way you
yes.
dress, from the way you speak, from the way you carry yourself, from the way you comport yourself, you find your people. You find your own tribe.
Hmm.
You find your
Wow.
own tribe. So one thing is authenticity. Be authentic. Be true. Another one is creativity. Get creative. Get creative. You see videos you want to stop to, or you want to start writing. You don't do what everybody is doing. Try to be creative. Come up in another way. Come up in another way. Come up in another way. The way that people do not see every day. Yes, in a way that people will not see every day. Do your own thing. So people will say, of course there are public speakers, but that Asiwaju Dorcas, her energy, if you hear her speak. So that's what I want to bring out. Be authentic. That's the major one. Be authentic. Be true to
Yes.
yourself. get creative, innovate as many times as you can, reinvent, break yourself into pieces and rebuild again as a speaker, and it will keep getting better. It will keep getting
Yes.
better. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you, ma, for that. And there is something about being authentic. When you are not authentic, like it's somehow obvious. People will know that this person is not authentic. And I realized to that as a speaker, because sometimes I speak too. When I'm authentic, I tend to be calm and I speak more better when I'm authentic, when I'm using my own tone and I'm not trying to form, because I've not been to any British country before. So why am I now forming? So I tend to be calm and like my spirit, my tone, everything, my body is always calm. And that is another thing I just learned now, to be authentic as a public speaker. Thank you for that, ma. So my next question
Thank
to you
you.
is, what is the hardest part of being a speaker? Like hardest.
Debbie has murdered me.
I'm sorry, oh, it's not my fault.
I have a lot of hard times when it comes to public speaking. But what is the hardest part of being a public speaker for me is the point where I had to step on that stage. Mm. You know, I'm confident, I'm eloquent, I'm smart, but you see those few minutes before we get to the stage. For every speaker, even the A-list speaker, is always the hardest time. That, hey, especially when it's a new audience. There was this speaking engagement I got, the last one for the year. Was it the last one? Okay, in November, Obafemi Awolowo University. When I got there, hey, because the crowd was something I had not experienced. Hey, I used to speak 100, 50, 80. When I got there, my body was shaking.
That's when you now be sweating.
They were calling they were reading my biography, and immediately I grabbed the mic and started speaking. Everything got lost. I forgot everything. So it's those 2-3 minutes before you go to speak, and for people like us who consider one speaking engagement as an opportunity to transform our life. Because one speaking engagement transformed my life back in 2020, immediately after COVID. One speaking engagement came back for me with several engagements, just one. So I usually treat my gigs as though this was going to be my last. It doesn't matter the number of audience. There were times I have gigs and the person wanted to cancel it. There was a gig I had last year and said, Dorcas, I'm so sorry, I don't want to waste my money, because people that later registered, they are just about 23, and I felt that you will not do very well. So don't worry, let me just come and get. I said, come on, my lady, let's do this. Dorcas, I don't want something that you come, you not give value because of the number of people. Do you know that it was that gig that gave me the highest payment of last year? Because after what she had paid me, I got 2 gigs there and they paid me higher than what she had paid me. I sold about 30 of my books for the first time at a speaking engagement. I usually sell about 10, 5. The highest I had sold at a speaking engagement was 12 before then. But that speaking engagement, I sold my book. At that time, my book was 5,000 naira. I sold 30. So what am I trying to say? I usually approach every speaking engagement as if this was my last, as if the president was coming. So the hardest part has always been that the moment I am about to step on that stage, there is this butterfly. And from research, I've been able to gather that those are the most crucial times. From my experience, some 3-4 months ago, last year, I was with an A-list speaker. I don't want to mention his name. And when we were discussing, he said, Dorcas, you and your team, you have to give me some time. I need to go and prepare. I have a speaking engagement this night. Give me some give me some time. And my team, they were all wondering, but he's a great speaker. He commands attention. I mean, he's a consultant, all of that. Why would he need to prepare? I was not flabbergasted. I was not blown away. I wasn't surprised. Why? Because I knew that he was somebody like me. Even though he was an A-list speaker, he was everything. People would pay him thousands of millions, thousands of naira, millions of naira to come speak. He knew that he had to prepare. He knew that he had to practice because he was treating every engagement as if it was the best thing that has ever happened to him.
Yes.
So what am I trying to say? And he now told me later, after we conversed that day, that do I know that even if it was a camera presentation like this, before he come on stage, he was usually feeling, even though he may be feeling good all day, at that point when he was about to get on stage. So I knew from research, from experience, that the hardest part and the most crucial part of being a speaker is those times when you're about to get on the job and you don't know. You are just trusting in your ability. You're just trusting in your capacity. You're just trusting in your God. You're just trusting in your content, that I am going to ace this. I am going to win this. These people are going to love me. I am going to give them the speech of their life that is going to motivate change, that is going to influence them, to impact their behavior and all of that. So that's always been the hardest part of for me.
Wow. Well, and from what you said now, the only difference in preparation for different speakers is that it will get to a level, like you will get to a certain level. You not need like maybe a month or weeks to prepare.
Yeah,
because you've gotten to a particular level, but
you've got
just anyhow, like you have to prepare. That is for every speaker. Please give me 1 second. Like you mentioned something about your book. I have it here.
Okay.
And everybody, see the book here. The business
Thank you,
of
Debbie
speaking.
Agbola. Everybody, this is the business of speaking.
Yes.
It's in hard copy, it's in soft copy.
If you want to improve your public speaking skill, get this book now. Get this book. See the book. See the book that you will find. See,
hard copy is 6,000 naira, but for everybody that comes from this show, that comes from Debbie Agbola, you'll be able to pay 5K. Please go ahead, send me a DM.
Thank you, ma. So just
and the soft copy will be 2.5 for you.
Okay, ma. What did you say?
I said, and if you are getting a soft copy, you are coming from Debbie, it will be 2.5.
Thank you, ma. So just use the word Smart Brand Show by Debbie Agbola to get your copy now, and you get a discount. So it's a must-get book for you if you are trying to improve your communication skill, your public speaking skill. So let's continue. Thank you for that, ma. So my next question is, you're welcome, ma. My next question is, between money and passion, which one do you think speakers should focus more on?
For somebody that started without even knowing that she could monetize, it was passion, and it will always be passion for me. And I've come to realize on my journey that if you focus on the money, you quickly fizzle out. When I started in 2019, I didn't make any money until 2020. I got my first one-to-one coaching client who was resident in Dubai back then. How much did the person pay me in 2020 during that COVID? It was 40K, and that 40K was like 400K.
Yes.
I smiled, I danced. Now we do 6 figures for one-to-one coaching. But what do I want to bring out? Hello, Debbie, can you hear me?
I can hear you, ma.
So always choose passion. Always choose passion. Let your passion be your edge. Let your passion give you the edge. Let your passion give you the edge. The money will always come. The money will come if you are good. If you are good, you know what you are doing. You are in the right circle. You are in the right network of people. The money will come.
Yes.
Do you know this slang that they used to say? Na them they rush us. Money will be rushing you. Do you know that there are sometimes that I don't post. I don't have time to post. Okay, for instance, today I've not made any post on social media, but I've spoken to my clients. I'm making money. So you really don't need to rush money. Focus on your passion. Focus on giving value. Let it be your center core. Let it be
Yes.
what rules you. So the passion will definitely reward you with money.
Yes.
In the long run, the passion will reward you with money. So don't say, me, I don't have time. Oh, I don't have time for free gigs. I was telling somebody yesterday, I said these free gigs are the ones that are your brand evangelists. Free gigs are your brand evangelists. What does evangelists do? They evangelize. Free gigs will tell people about you. That girl, I know her. She spoke at this. This is what she said. People start talking about you. That was what helped me. And because I had passion to speak. So follow your passion and follow it through. Go and quote me anywhere. Passion will pay the money.
Yes.
Passion will pay the money. Passion will pay the money. So that's it, Debbie. Passion all the time.
Yes. And the funny part of this thing is that those free gigs, the audience will not even know maybe you are doing it for free or they paid you. But they know that you are valuable. And from that free gig, you can get referred, you can get recommended. So people don't even care if you are being paid. They just want to know you are valuable. And valuable will always bring you money in return. So thank you for that, Ma. So my next question is,
Debbie, you are just hitting the nail. Before your last question, let me just say this. Because you are just hitting the nail, it means that you are in alignment with me. People will not know that you are underpaid.
Yes.
You are underpaid. Or call it you are short paid when you do a bad job. Let me say it again. People will not know that you were underpaid or you were short paid when you do a bad job. All they will remember is that speaker that came and did not go depth and was giving us surface knowledge, was giving us crumbs. So focus on the passion. If you go there and say, let me just go. This one that Asiwaju Dorcas said that I should be focusing on passion. Let me go. And you did not allow the thing to sink to you. You just shot yourself in the foot.
Yes.
There was a gig that I went to, Peter's Apologies, and somebody was asking me, she said she wondered how much I was paid. That the way I came out of all the speakers. Okay, it was that November gig, that OAU gig. They had about 4 speakers. There were 4 or 5. I was the last speaker. The first speaker has spoken, second, third, fourth. The audience were bored. I felt like I was going to come from a place where all of them are going to wake up. And when I finished, everybody, to the glory of God, everybody. And somebody now said, I wonder how much she paid you. Everything she paid me was spent on transport. Was spent on transport, not to and fro, just to go there, buy things, get my luggage, get this. Everything she sent me. She was saying, she was like, Dean, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that it would go like this. So, Dean, forgive me. You even brought this one for the participants. You brought this, you brought that. So what am I trying to say in essence? Passion will take you far. Nobody will know that you were short paid if you do a bad job. They will always remember what you did. Yes. So thank you, Debbie. Let's go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Ma. So my next question is, we want to know your daily routine. What routines do you follow every day? From when you wake up to when you go back to bed?
Wow. Well, I have a routine. I wake up for 5. Even if I sleep by 3 a.m., even if I sleep by 4 a.m., my alarm is set for 5 a.m. And prayer time is 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. I usually join our online prayer meeting, Covenant Prayer. We usually have that one for 6 a.m., but there's the one from my church, they start by 5 a.m. So I'm up. I'll speak in tongues, pray, bless the day, 6 a.m. Between 6 a.m. and 6:30, I am commenting on people's posts on LinkedIn because I want to build my brand on LinkedIn. So I go there, engage. Once it's 6:30, between 6:30 and 7 a.m., my post is always ready. Sometimes I prepare my post ahead. During the weekend, like today now, I'm not anywhere close to my vicinity. I had to come down to this environment because I needed to sleep. That my house, my nieces came last week, they were all there. So I had to come and hide in one place and stay. Though this is my second home anyway. It's just like an extension of my house. So what I want to bring out, 6:30, 6 a.m. When I have time like this, I prepare content. Sometimes I have this notebook app that I use. I write my contents there. I keep them. So there are weekends or days where I already have prepared content. There are some times that I just needed to sit and write and check out all the places I used to gain inspiration to write content. So between 6:30 and 7:30 a.m., I already made my first post on Facebook. I already made my post on LinkedIn. I already know. On some days, I used to post multiple times on Facebook, maybe 5 times, 4 times. The highest I had gone one day is 6 times. But on LinkedIn, I usually post only once. So after posting, if I have a client, I have to attend them because I have one-to-one coaching clients. I attend to them. There are some that 10 to 12. There's another one for 12 to 2. And on days when I don't have any speaking engagements or any one-to-one coaching signed, I read books, I go out. Sometimes I go to my mom's school. My mom runs a school. She's a school owner and I manage it.
Wow.
So,
That's why you are called the game.
so so I don't go there every day though, but most times I'm there. Sometimes on Tuesday I'll just go to the place. I'll be there till when they close for 3 p.m. I'll go back to my place, come back home. I love to cook. Every day I used to check cooking sites. So most days I used to cook. Sometimes I read, sometimes I Netflix, I go out. So my routine has always been start with God, go to social media, go out if you have an outing, attend to online speaking engagements if you have, then go to mom's school if there's something you needed to do, or you just go see what the staffs are doing, see what the HM is doing, because mom is not always around. We have an HM currently that manage for us. So I go there to oversee things and I go to work sometimes. Though I stopped doing 9 to 5 since 2021, but in 2023, towards the tail end, I started doing 9 to 5. I go to a firm, I manage for them, see what they are doing. I used to be their brand communicator. So we put out content. Sometimes I go to schools, and I also run TalkGenerals consults with my team. We used to go to school, even though we've not brought all of those things online, we are still taking our time. So boring routine.
Okay, well, that's an expo for us. So I've known some of your secret like that. Okay, so my next question is, how do you manage influence without getting drained?
Wow. How do you manage influence without getting drained? Well, boundaries help me a lot. I know my limits. I set boundaries. So because of how I am, because of my energy, and because of my demeanor, you'd have seen that I have a welcoming demeanor. People can easily reach out to me, can connect with me. I now set boundaries. You don't do past this. There was a time somebody was sending me messages on Facebook. Please, madam, help me, help me. I kept sending money. At some point, I had to draw the line. So one thing that has helped me to manage influence was the fact that I set boundaries. I don't go beyond my limits. I know my limitations. I know it. And when it comes to this business of speaking, communication, presentation, and all of that, I know the gig that I should not take. I don't take all speaking engagements. Sometimes ago, somebody told me, Dorcas, does it not sound as if you are proud? No, this is me. I don't want to get drained. I know what I could do, even if you are my best friend. Once I go through your topic, I go through your goal, your mission. What are you doing? How does it go? I read from what I read. I see if this is in alignment with me. So I don't take up speaking engagements. For months, I may not have gig. And I'm okay. I'm fine. For months. And sometimes in a month, I have like 3-4 gigs. For instance, this month of March, I have 2 gigs and I'm going to be traveling. I think one is at Akure, the next one is at Abuja, another one is at Benin. So once I set these boundaries and know my limitations, it has helped me not to get drained. It has helped me to know when to bus stop. There are sometimes when I set up my tripod. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Yes. I can hear you.
There are sometimes when I set up my tripod and I want to and I want to shoot a video and the body will be telling me, go and rest. I know my limits. So I'll just let it be. So one of the things that has helped me manage my influence is setting my boundaries, know how far I could go, then knowing my limits. Can I stretch? There are sometimes I can stretch. For instance, when I saw your invitation to this presentation, there are things that I had planned for this weekend. That was why I said, answer me. Where is it going to happen? What do I need to? So I needed to know all those questions. Where will it happen? What do you need me to do? So once I weigh those things, it will help me to know maybe I should give a full yes or I should say no. So knowing your limitations, knowing how well you can stretch yourself. You sometimes you can be a rubber band that stretches. Do you know that a rubber band at some point when you stretch it, it will just cut off? Do you know?
Yes, the limit.
That means that it has got to a stretching limit.
Yes.
So you must know your limits. You must know your limits. You must set clear boundaries with people, with your personal life, with your professional life. Personal boundaries. That's why you don't see me post some things, because I know my limits. I know how well I want you to know my story. So these are the things that has helped me so far.
Yes. And this too will give you peace of mind, and it will reduce the way you please people, because sometimes when we tend to please people, it affects our peace of mind too. And when we don't set boundaries too, it affects our peace of mind too sometimes. Are you still there, ma?
Yes, I'm there, Debbie. 1 minute, please.
Okay, ma. Okay, so before the next question, let us go on a short break. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Smart Brand Show, where every episode is a step closer to your success story. Join me as an industry expert as we explore career experiences, vulnerability, intimacy, and industry expert strategies. Get ready for a roller coaster of fun where learning meets laughter and inspiration sparks innovation. Don't forget to subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications. Let's embark on this success journey together.
This is Smart Brand Show, brought to you by Smart Brands Africa.
Welcome back from that short break. We still have our guest with us here, Miss Asiwaju Dorcas. So my next question to you, Ma, is who are the 3 people you look up to, and why do you look up to them?
Wow, who do I look up to? I look up to successful speakers. I don't want to start mentioning names.
Okay.
Especially in the female folk, those that are doing what I want them to do. I see myself in some people, so I follow those people. Then I look up to my mentor. I mean, he's doing a lot of incredible things that inspires me. You know, sometimes you are just sleeping and you're telling yourself you are sleeping. People are posting, people are turning out content. There are sometimes that I will be watching Netflix. I'll just be scrolling on Facebook. I will go to, I will say, I see how many contents this person has created. Dorcas, you are Netflixing. I used to talk to myself a lot. You know, sometimes I will just be laughing when I'm in debate, because I used to talk to myself a lot. So I look up to successful speakers, people who have gone ahead, especially the female folk, doing what I want to do and are successful in it already. So it tells me that I could be a success in that thing too. I also look up to my mentor. I look up to my mom. We all look up to God. Of course, God is number one. I look up to my mom. That woman is such, let me use this word, Indaboski.
Indaboski.
That's what I call her. That's what I call her too. Because she'll go to school, she'll call me, are you coming? Are you checking the school? I said no, she'll go there, she'll come back, work, attend to people, because she also goes to the church, stay, do this, do that. Mommy, you will break down. For instance, me, that I'm a speaker, I can only go 3 to 4 speaking engagements in one day. That is online. Online, I know my limits. I can speak for 7 good hours online. So I'm having your section now from, let's say we started by past 4 till
Yes.
6. I can speak 3 hours, 4 hours before I need to drink water. I train my body like that. After your section, I have a section for 9 p.m. 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. I know that I have energy to do it. But that woman, she'll be going there. When I go, mommy, you're not at home. I'm going to my place. So I look up to her because she's a workaholic. That's one. 2, she's everything about God. If you want to do this thing, even for the tiniest of things, my mom seeks the face of God. Let me give you an example. You know, there are major things I want to do that will seek the face of God. Maybe you want to get married, or you want to move into a new house. You can pray, God bless this house. Is this place a good place for me? This, but my mom, hey, maybe she wants to speak to a parent. She ask God. The smallest
Wow.
of things, the tiniest of things. So she taught me. She taught me, and because of her, I have imbibed it. When I want to host speaking, I want to come and train online. I have to pray. I have speaking engagements after preparing, before preparing, during preparation, after preparation. I talk to God. God, they said we should come and speak at Akure Try First Conference 2024. This is your dream. May your name alone be praised. I have prepared. Oh, I'm still going to prepare. Take the wheel. The right word that they want to say. What should I say? And you know that unconsciously, I have begun to rest on the Holy Spirit. Because sometimes I will present a paper, I will prepare a paper. Miss Debbie, when I get to the place, what I will speak. There was a time that I went to a particular speaking engagement and people were saying, oh, wow, nobody knew I did not prepare for that presentation, because immediately I grabbed the mic, my slides were up. They had already projected my slides. I started saying another thing entirely. And I was saying
the
myself,
different things were making sense.
and I was saying this was not what you prepared. One woman stood up and said, Ma, please. It was only Q&A. Ma, please. Can I have a section with you? I missed tears. At that point, I knew that it was God. It was not me that spoke.
Yes.
So I look up to my mom because she brings the Holy Ghost vibe. The Holy Ghost vibe. The Holy Ghost vibe. And unconsciously, I have imbibed it. When I go for speaking engagements, there are some things that I do that are even wrong. I'll say, Dorcas, to fuck up. Sweet Holy Spirit, I did this thing today. Oh, forgive me, I'm wrong. You know that I know he knows already. I know he saw me when I actually did the thing, but then he gives me a sense of belonging.
Yes.
A sense of when I tell him by myself with my mouth, I know that you already know. I know you already know, but I actually did it. So there are things like that. So for me, the successful speakers found my path, my mentor, and of course my mom.
Wow. That's nice. That's beautiful. And that's interesting too. The ability to communicate to God, the ability to communicate with Him, like is your paddy, like is your bestie, like is your friend, is very, very special. So I love that part. So we are moving on to the next section of this show. And in that
Okay.
section, you are going to tell us the lessons you've learned from that word. I will give you words, then you are going to tell us the lessons you've learned from that word. Are you ready, ma?
The seat is getting hotter.
Okay, ma. So I'm going to give you 2 words, but I will start with first one first. So the first one I will give is growth. Growth. What lesson have you learned from the word growth?
Wow. Growth happened to me. And it has taught me that if you don't stop planting, you will grow. If you don't stop planting, there will always be growth. If you don't stop watering, continue to water your skill, you will grow. My journey from 2019 to today is a journey of growth. There are a lot of people that we started this journey together. If I mention some people's name, some people here, we know them. There are a lot of people that are stopped. We started this journey together 2019, they had stopped. And today they are wondering, Dorcas, you are trying, we don't have Gen Zs. We have Gen Z body, we have new coaches, and you are still there. And you are still thriving. That's because I kept watering. So if you don't stop planting, if you don't stop watering, you will grow. Imagine me, Miss Debbie. Imagine me that actually started my training school with just about 5 registration, just 5 participants, and today we have 20. We have more than 20 in one cohort, because we do it in batches, we do it in cohorts. In one cohort, sometimes we have 30, we have 50, and sometimes it comes down, it goes higher. Now that's not just it. I have had clients from places that I have never been to. I've never been to Texas. I have clients from Texas, I have clients from Ghana, South Africa, Kenya. I have students, a lot of students from Kenya, Liberia. Not people who just took 1,000 naira training. People who have done BSc course, they did ESP course from TalkGenerals. They did a lot of our programs at TalkGenerals Global Training School. Wow. So growth has taught me that it can only get better if you don't stop.
Yes. And growth has this signal. When you grow, it's signaled to other people, it's signaled to excellent people. Like, that's the work of growth. It invites people of value to you too. So I love that. So the next question is, the next word I will give you is branding. What lessons have you learned from branding?
Wow, branding taught me a lot, because I actually lost a gig because I was not branded. Now let me give you a clear picture. In 2020, during COVID, somebody reached out to me and said that they wanted to host a physical event, but they are still holding on for COVID. They have not yet chosen the date. And they told me about the money. I charged them, I billed them. For the first time, this person accepted. For the first time, this person accepted without saying it's too much. Can you bring down your price? Debbie, do you know what happened? My audience, do you know what happened? After COVID, they were supposed to host the event. So they told me, send your professional pic. I just had one picture like that I crop. The person said, I'm so sorry, you're a speaker, you're a professional speaker. Was it 2020 or? Yes, it was 2020. Yes, it was 2020. Is it before COVID or after COVID? It's before COVID, it's after COVID. They gave me a day to go and do professional headshots. As Satan will have it. Forgive me, because that was not my God. He didn't tell me not to brand myself, not be smart. But the person that took me the shots, the photographer said, it's just 24 hours, I will get it. 2 days, 3 days, 4 days. The camera got spoiled. The branding is a necessity, and it will make you lose opportunities. So after that incident, I went back to my Facebook. I went to a studio, a proper studio, and I took the very first shot. I think it was the first time I paid 30,000 naira. I took 200 pictures. I took 6 outfits. And I still used to do it till today.
Wow.
Every year I go at the beginning of every year, sometimes middle of the year, I go there with 6 outfits. Now the money has increased. They will edit some, they will not edit some, but they will give me all my pictures. So I have something compelling. Except I don't want to use it. I have something compelling to project myself online. Then I went to brand myself. I started now my brand colors are blue, white. This year now I want to include yellow and red. So if you go to my social media, you always know I have a thing for blue. If I'm not wearing powder blue, I'm wearing royal blue or white. So that has been, I started branding. I started reading about it. From my content, my bio, my name, everything. Now, if you go to my WhatsApp, the same picture is on my Facebook, the same picture is on my LinkedIn as my profile picture, the same picture is on my Instagram. So my branding is top notch now, because it has taught me that I could lose opportunity.
Yes.
So that's it.
Yes, that same thing happened to one man when I was learning photography. If you see the way this guy rushed into our studio, he rushed into the studio and said, abeg, please just give me one headshot because I'm about to lose this opportunity. But that day there were many clients, so we could not help him. We had to refer him to other studios. So branding is a necessity. So thank you for saying that, ma'am. So we are moving on to the last segment of this show, and it's called rhyme section. So you are going to develop a quote from a word that we give to you.
Okay.
Okay. The first one I will give you is attractive.
And it must be rhyming words.
No, it does not have to rhyme, but just a motivational quote or any quote.
Okay. Let me say attraction is the ingredient. You two should not laugh at me. You should not laugh at my quote, but then I'm putting it together from my experience. Attraction is the ingredient. It's like the aroma. Let me put it that way. It's the aroma that will attract your tribe to you. Attraction is the ingredient you need. Is the aroma you need. Yes, let me put it that way. Attraction is the aroma you need to get into the circle of the right people. Because a lot of people have walked up to me and they said that they were attracted to me from the way I speak. Some people said from the way I conduct myself, the way I carried myself. So I could say that your skills, your attitude, they are the attraction, they are the aroma. They are the ingredients, they are the spices that will attract you to who you want to attract. That will attract those you want in your circle, those you want in your corner. It will attract them to you. So keep upgrading your skills. So let me use that. Your skills, your attitude, your demeanor are the spices. They are the aroma that will attract your tribe, that will attract the right person to your circle. Yes,
I
that's
love
it.
that. I love that. So I want to take this moment to appreciate you for honoring our invitation. For us to have you here, it's a great honor for us. So we appreciate you for honoring our invitation, ma. Thank you so much.
It's such a joy and a delight to be here, everyone. Thank you so much, Smart Brands. Thank you so much for having me. Sincerely, when I got the invitation, I saw everything. I was excited. I sent Miss Debbie a message. I said, I already went through everything. I'm excited already. If it didn't sync with what I was doing online, if it didn't sync with my values, I would not be here today. Thank you so much, all the team at Smart Media. Thank you for finding me worthy. All our participants, everyone joining us, watching this section. I want to appreciate you too for taking time out to listen to me, for not saying Portable is speaking. So it is my delight. It's also my prayer that we meet at the top. I see you shining your light, making your voice heard unashamedly, confidently, and courageously, because you are fearfully made, and tremendous success is achievable with everyone, especially because there is no excuse to be nobody. I'll see you at the top. Thank you, Miss Debbie. Well done. Keep making lives keep pushing your dreams towards the answer that you are looking for. I'm so sure that you are going to make the A list of game changers in the world. Thank you.
This is Smart Brand Show, brought to you by Smart Brands Africa.